It takes intense devotion to achieve the feat that he achieved. It takes intense drive and desire and trials, knockdowns and beatings and crazy training to build up the endurance and to build up the toughness.
This is a Truth Transforms Truth Nugget, a daily dose of truth for your daily transformation.
So regardless of the reason for the trial, we need to remember that God is working in us and maturing us as believers. And we need to keep a heavenly perspective in all circumstances and remember that God is building our character and our trust in Him. The trials that we experience will either deepen our faith or cause us to get angry at God. The suffering that we encounter will either cause us to rejoice in our future hope or become disillusioned with God. Which is it going to be? We need to choose how we respond. Nobody increases in strength by living an easy life. And I want to tell you, an underdeveloped theology of suffering will lead to an underdeveloped view of God. We need to have an area in our mind, an area in our theology to deal with the trials that come our way. And we need to have a high enough view of God to not let it shake our faith. And nobody increases in strength by living an easy life. And you picture a boxer that won a championship. And this boxer wins the championship and he's asked, well, how did you do it? How did you get to the top? And he says, I just kept showing up to work. I just kept showing up to practice. And one day I was elevated to the position of champion. And you say, well, that just sounds ridiculous. Well, of course it does, because we know life doesn't work that way. Life just doesn't work that way. It takes intense devotion to achieve the feat that he achieved. It takes intense drive and desire and trials, knockdowns and beatings and crazy training to build up the endurance and to build up the toughness to get to that championship level. And sometimes the Christian walk is like that. If you think of any endeavor, it's the times when you've been tried the hardest. It's the times when you've been tested the most. It's the time in which you've been pushed to the limit that you've experienced the most growth. It's what's necessary for success in any area of life, and sometimes God is pushing us to the limits. He's working in us and He's doing something.